Welcome to April's Garage, the greatest automotive channel in all of YouTube land. And now, when the Palisade first came out 5 years ago, it was a huge hit. They didn't know it, but it was. Now it's been redesigned for 2026, and I gotta say, it looks really good.
It was totally crazy just 4 or 5 years ago with Palisades, because the COVID shortages with everything made people like in a frenzy. So they're paying $10,000, $15,000 over for a Palisade. And it was like the Korean invasion, because it was the same with the Kia Telluride, a 3-row luxury SUV from Kia, Hyundai. You wouldn't think people would be going nuts for them, but they were, because they were good, they were affordable, and they were super luxurious, while all the other luxury automakers got way too expensive, like way overpriced. And this, still cheap.
Well, affordable, we're gonna see what you get for $52,000. That's the price tag on this puppy.
This is a fully loaded calligraphy for 52 grand. It's not 152 grand like we're getting used to seeing with Infinities and everything. It's $52,000. They start around $40,000. Just nuts.
I know, let's go take a look.
And a big thank you to Hatchet Hyundai for loaning us this Palisade. And they were one of the few dealers that wasn't marking these things up 10, 15 grand when things were absolutely nuts. They wanted to be good to their customers. So they are a fantastic dealership. We bought a company car, a Santa Fe, for an employee, and they didn't mark it up when they could have. So yeah, props to them for sure. But the new Palisade, totally redesigned from the back.
It's fantastic.
It's a Range Rover.
The boxy look. Yeah, it does look like a Range Rover, but that's where everything's kind of going. You're either going super swoopy or the boxy look, and I think they pulled it off really nicely. Here's the thing, this one's not the hybrid, and the hybrid make up for about 70% of the sales, but
I'm not sure I believe that, because nobody wants a hybrid in the Midwest, so I don't know about that. But
why?
You're standing in the perfect spot, so stand, lean here, kind of like that, like lean pose. Like you're selling a car. That is 1,000% a Range Rover. You're covering up the Hyundai logo in the Palisade part. If you'd sent this a picture, a couple of years ago, everybody would have said, "Oh wow, nice Range Rover you got there." But because of this taillight, I mean, pretty close to a dead ringer as far as the shape of it. I guess the little stacks there is different, but the overall shape exactly the same.
Yeah, it's really cool. Even, the front grille, I feel like when you look at it, it just looks like it's almost an electric car.
Right.
And it matches the taillights back here.
Yes. So big wheels on the calligraphy that, don't look big because we're so used to massive wheels nowadays, but they are 21 inches and very intricate. Hyundai does a lot of pretty designs with their wheels and different stuff. So I like the way they look. But yeah, here is the sticker. $56,000
Oh, sorry,
on this one.
I said 52, that's 56.
54, the retail suggested price, and then there's some add-ons with the floor mats and different things. Still, this is fully loaded, top of the heat calligraphy.
Right, I feel like that's a really good, I haven't seen thoroughly inside yet. I'm going to show you at the same time when I look at it, but it's a good value. I feel like every time you see one of these cars new, they're going to be at least $70,000.
Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive, but we'll get to that when we drive it.
This is a really cool, interesting notch in here. It kind of makes it look like tougher and beefier, right? And here's these LED front just grille. It's like a massive.
It's like a skyscraper.
Yeah, skyscraper. I love. There's got the little. I feel like every car has to have the light bar, the tiny thin light bar going all the way across.
Let's see. I don't know if that one lights up though. Let's see. I think it's just plastic.
Well, maybe the TRD Pro has the light bar.
The off-road one, maybe, they make it a little different. I personally like the look of these better because it's much more luxurious. I don't know if the off-roader ones really do it for me.
The off-road has like these bright orange hooks up front and all this kind of like cladding and skid plates on there. It looks really tough and cool, but I don't know why they made them big orange hooks on the front. It really stands out.
This is much more classy in my opinion, much more luxurious, much more the reason why you would buy one of these. So I personally like the calligraphy and the fancy ones better, but I can definitely see why they're wanting to go after like a Z71 Tahoe buyer or something like that with an off-roady one.
Do you think the off-roading one is like a good place to start for those like overlanding type vehicles to like build on? Like, is it really the beefy?
I don't think they're going to steal any Bronco buyers with these. Honestly, I think this is the way to go as far as like stealing the luxury, the Lexus, Infiniti, the overpriced Cadillacs and Lincolns and stuff, by undercutting them on the price and offering a better product. I think this is where the Palisade really shines and why it was a smash hit the first time, and it's why I gravitated towards this one for our review. But yeah, this front end, it wants your attention.
I think it looks so much better than the first generation. The first generation is like typical generic soccer mom looking, where this one, yeah, like you were saying, that Range Rover, cool, sexy feel to it. When did you ever think a Palisade would be sexy?
Right, a
I think
Hyundai
they
in
did it.
general. But they've been styling things pretty good. The new Santa Fe was one of the first big reviews we did
Right.
a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And we like the way it was restyled. Hyundai does a good job with the styling of their vehicles. They do just enough to copy, but then they make their own kind of spin on it. So I do like everything that they do. And the interior on this thing, well, you haven't seen it yet.
Here we go. Very nice, very clean. Pretty basic, you know, but it still looks fantastic.
Minimalist, I would say,
yeah,
yes.
Minimalist. You got your speakers down here, some sort of vinyl detailing. I like this kind of wood look with the ambient lighting behind it.
But different textures. So you
Right.
got a very leather, soft feeling dash. And then, yeah, the textures here. And then, you know, this is more of the harder plastic stuff, but
Yeah,
she fancy.
It's still, I love, there's a little shelf right here for your goodies and your snacks for road trips, maybe your phone in there. And these seats are great. These seats,
Lots of adjustments.
lots of adjustments, fantastic. Very cool detailing with these kind of metal strips in the back with the ventilated seats. Ooh, it says calligraphy right in the headrest, so you know it's luxurious.
I think you get the fancier interior, the softer leather, which it definitely feels like it. And then, even though this isn't a big giant Escalade, second row, captains.
Captain seats.
And then third row, which is folded down right now. I'll see you in a little bit, April.
These
I'm coming for you.
captain seats are amazing.
Yeah.
You can option it with the bench, but these are fantastic. Look how you got all your controls up top, heated and ventilated back seats. This is so cool. You got your own little sunroof back here. I like this.
And kind of a suede feeling headliner. And then there are vents for the third row passengers, which is very nice because it is a third row, same as the first generation, which maybe. There we go. Found the right button.
Just how easy is that? Do you know how tricky and difficult it can be to kind of get these working when you're in a hurry?
Oh,
And it's
man.
just a button.
On my 05 Escalade, it jams up and it's annoying because it's 20 years old. So yeah, having an electric, it's very nice. And yeah, I'll come back around. Let's see room-wise how it is. Does it fit
You guys,
April Rose?
there's heated seats back here. I'm
Third
not
row
kidding.
heated seats?
Third row heated seats right here. That's right? Like, when do you see that? Maybe on your Maybach and like that's it. But this is so cool. Your own cup holders. I like this. Maybe you should drive me around for April's garage. I could just kind of relax.
No, that's not what people want to see. They want to know your driving experiences, what you think, and yeah, I think overall, super, super high end, super clean. I mean, it is very close to Range Rover, Mercedes, BMW in the interiors for half the price.
Yeah, that's what I'm shocked. There's heated seats in the back for just over $50,000. That is fantastic. Look at this massive C-pillar that's all metallic. That's a cool design cue. You get your little wiper hiding underneath that fin right there. Okay, this is cool. I'm excited to take it out because I'm really impressed right now, but the real magic is when you're in the driver's seat.
See, when I had a Hyundai Genesis sedan,
Yeah.
I took off all the Hyundai badges and put on the Genesis logo with the big wings, you know,
Yeah.
to make it sort of look like a Bentley, and up badge the thing. And I feel like there's definitely room for some. You could put something else on there. I don't know.
What goes in the oval? Like, I only know Ford, like the blue oval can go in here.
Right.
What can you fit in there?
And it's interesting that Hyundai has kept the Palisade
Right.
with Hyundai and not Genesis. Now Genesis has their own fancier SUV. So you
Right.
got to think of the competition within Hyundai themselves now. Where do you go with the Palisade, or do you go with the big GV80 or whatever, the same
Right,
platform as
right.
this? So now they're competing with themselves, and I think they would have a hard time going up to the Genesis, in my opinion, when this is so nice for the money.
Yeah, they did it. They kind of, I don't want to say copied, but the Santa Fe looks very similar, and I think everyone loved it, and that design cue traded up for this.
Well, go ahead and start it up and pop the hood, okay?
I saw someone talk about this. That looks like an alien suppository.
That's
now
all the keys.
I can't get it out of my head, though. Like, that's what I think.
It'd be easy to hide places, I suppose, if you know.
Sure. Okay.
Right?
You want the...
I guess you could insert it and not have to worry about finding your keys, right?
Okay.
Anyway, this was the April test.
What?
Where's the start button?
I was opening the hood for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Where is the start button?
So I meant to turn the wheel about 45 degrees
Yeah.
to block it because it's is right there.
That's so tricky.
Very tricky.
Well, and they moved the shifter from the center console to the steering column, and I kind of like it. It's all centralized right here in the same location.
Once you know that it's there, it's not a big deal, I feel like.
It's
But
like beefy.
you'd have to tell people to find it. So
Right.
yeah, go ahead and start it up. Whoa!
Look at all this extra room for activities up here.
I didn't expect the engine to be this low. I'm used to seeing them, you know,
Right?
up higher, so it's kind of down in there.
Why do you think they did better, like center of gravity, weight ratio, something?
Yeah, lower center of gravity for
Yeah.
sure, but also they wanted to make this nose look big and tall, so they made it, you know, 8-10 inches higher than it needed to be, just for aesthetic, I
You
imagine.
could just swap in a massive motor in there if you wanted to.
Right? So V6, it is transverse, it looks like, because there's one bank, yep, and then so the back bank would be here. So it's mounted sideways instead of being like a rear-wheel drive base, because this one is actually the front-wheel drive, so it doesn't have rear-wheel drive. Well, there's a lot going on electronically on this one. I mean, as far as the plugs and everything that I do not know. I mean, obviously this is for the variation of the cam and all that stuff, but very colorful, April. That's something because I have no idea what it is. I'm just gonna say it's very colorful.
It's so pretty.
Exactly.
Now you're turning into me. Look at how gorgeous this is.
But we have battery mounted here, but then also another jump point for the fuse block. And air intake's a little low. I imagine on the off-roader they probably put it up higher. But this thing's very tidy, very, very brand new. And what's interesting is I have that $100,000 Mercedes EQS,
Right.
that electric sedan. And they didn't bother to paint under the hood.
Oh.
Like here
Right.
or on the shock towers and all that stuff on a $100,000 Mercedes. But then Hyundai, they're painting it.
They have quality right now. This is where it's at. I'm loving this. I don't want to be disappointed in driving it though. I'm a
You
little
won't.
nervous.
You won't. I'm going to say something that's going to be pretty shocking when we drive this thing.
Really?
Now that we got it outside, April, give it a rev, huh? Whoa! That sounded a lot better than I expected.
Right. I know we do a lot of car reviews and sometimes we're like a little underwhelmed. That one sounded great.
And I just closed the door and it felt significant.
It was like a little thunk.
And the insulation. So bugs buzzing outside, the cicadas.
Right. It is really quiet. I know we joke around a lot, but like that is fantastic. Look, you got your Bose speakers right up here. I
Yes.
love this whole screen that's just fluid all the way through. You don't have little like sectioned off pieces, but then there's also tactile buttons. I like the steering wheel.
That's what sold me immediately. It's they're finally listening to consumers who don't want to toggle through a bunch of screens to find stuff. Yeah, we can change our track right here. We can change our temperature, turn on our heated seats. Everything is right there, not having to toggle through menus and get really annoyed.
Right.
So they're listening. They're building what the people want. A luxury 3-row SUV that's not $1 billion.
Right. These seats are so good. Okay, so Tyler just bought a truck that you didn't post about it yet or anything.
Well, it'll be out by then, so
And-
you
okay.
can mention it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Tyler bought the truck, the Silverado, the EV Silverado, and the
Uh-huh.
seats. Like, I sound like such a spoiled brat, but they suck. They're manual seats, and like they only have like kind of 2 positions that they move. So now sitting in here, like, wow, I could adjust this and be so. Can we put these seats in the Silverado EV?
I mean,
That's the way to do
put
it.
the conversions van seats probably.
So
but, yeah,
to get this into drive, you tilt that
there you go.
forward, which is really unusual. I've never driven a car that had that function to it.
It's easy once you get the hang of it, for
Right.
sure.
You need to kind of learn your way around it for a minute. The steering wheel feels kind of tight, and I like that. Is that a weird description?
You
to
mean the
say?
handling feels tight?
The handling feels a little tight, yeah.
Okay. Well, see if that engine feels tight, April.
Here we go.
You didn't put it all the way to the floor, I don't think.
I'm on the floor. So it's a heavy truck.
And I think it started in second there. I
Okay,
think you
there.
didn't have it kicked down.
Right.
Because it will kick a little bit harder than that. But it was okay. It gets 25 miles per gallon highway, and this big old thing, so it's not going to have the spiciest engine. Obviously, if it was a V8, then it'd be drinking the gas. So
right. It feels like, looking out front, feels like a pickup truck. How wide and high the hood is. Obviously, the engine, they pushed it down a little bit for that reason, to get it up high, and it's cool, but it's very beefy.
Yes. Well, they made it ride quieter, way quieter.
Mm-hmm.
They made it ride even smoother than the previous generation Palisade, a lot smoother.
Right.
And they did this with just good old-fashioned coil springs, not air ride,
right.
not magnetic, any kind of control or that kind of stuff. There's still springs underneath it, and it rides as nice as my 2005 Cadillac Escalade.
For you to say that is a big deal. Actually, that's a very big deal.
This is the closest that I have driven a vehicle to my 2005 Escalade ever, maybe? Because like the newer Escalades are on a different weird level of, like, it's not the same.
Right.
This is really close.
Yeah, I like it. It's comfortable. The seats are comfortable. They're not as squishy as the Escalade, but I feel like they're going to hold up longer in the future because of that.
Yep. I'm curious with this calligraphy fancy dash here. It's very soft. I assume that it'll hold up to the sun. And then the suede here, once again, I know it's a simulation suede that should hold up, but it all seems so nice for the money.
Yeah, I can't believe it's only this one particular with the high trim, $56,000.
Right. So if you're shopping,
that's before like negotiating.
Right.
Salespeople, right? So like you're going to get down on that price.
And the biggest downside used to be with, not buying a Honda or Toyota when it came to like a luxury SUV was depreciation.
Yeah.
Or, say like a Denali or something like that, because the Tahoes and Suburbans, they hold their values pretty well.
Right.
But with these, people really want these. Like they were paying $10,000, $15,000 over a sticker for them 5 years ago, and this is still a pretty in-demand car that they're stocking up. So I feel like this won't be off a cliff crazy depreciation like you would see normally, but also it's just not that expensive to start with. Mm-hmm. So you're not losing $30,000, $50,000 the moment you drive it off the lot, like so many of the cars that I'm buying, secondhand for YouTube videos. So this seems like a pretty smart buy.
It is a smart buy. I love that they have the speed limit posted. I don't know how they got that information, but that's great to see, because there's not speed signs all over the place. And when you're moving to a new town like Wichita, you don't know, what you're supposed to do. And I like that. It's just right in your face.
Except if you get pulled over and you said, "Oh, officer, I swore it was 35 here or 55." No, it's right there on your screen.
That's when you got to do a little wink, Tyler. You just get a little. I'm not good at winking.
They would give me an extra ticket for winking at a police officer. I'm sure they would be like, "Okay, get out of the car."
This is great. I love the color. It's called creamy white. It's a very bright kind of little bit of metallic flake in it. I like this. I'm impressed, and I'm excited that they're designing cars brand new 2026 like this. This is going in the right direction.
Absolutely. So, what's this thing, Miss Researcher? The UVC button.
To clean whatever, you know what I mean? Like when COVID happened and you wanted to clean your phone or utensils and there's like a UVC light.
Oh, you put it in there with the little...
I'm just guessing what that is. I don't know for sure, but that is what would make sense.
Yeah, so when I open this, it does turn off. So that is to sterilize all your nasty kids stuff.
So when your nails are really long and there's dirt under them, you just stick your hand in there. Go ahead.
Well, you can't close it and do it. Yeah.
That'll be perfect. Yeah, this is a great car. Great for the money. It's a no-brainer. All right, let's see this puppy.
There, you found the first gear that time. That's better.
It's better. I love this. This is a no-brainer. Like this, for the money, this is where it's at. They did a fantastic job for 2026. Thanks so much for watching.